Hey everyone, how's it going? Saul here. Welcome back to episode 3 of the Fresh Start Progress. Had to do as a first resort because I have, well, it's required of me, basically. I've been collecting some sandstone daily from over here and in Priv. 4 flasks and crystal flasks, respectively, and I need to make them, and completely forgot you needed the quest, so I actually went to make them and didn't have the ability to. So, and I didn't find out earlier because, of course, I don't use the machine, wherever it is, or the one in Priv. I just use Super Glass Make because it's way faster. I get too annoyed trying to wait for the machine. The less time I can spend on dailies, the better. So, I'd rather just have a ridiculous amount of sandstone that I have to convert all at once than use the machine for like 30 seconds a day. But anyways, I've also gotten a few levels between episodes here. Notably, I got an archaeology level, a few Herblore levels rather, and some invention levels, mostly from archaeology, of course. I also ended up buying a few things. I'm gonna miss Divine Use explaining all this, but I want to go over it. Bought augmented animal core body of Zeros and legs as well, and a Dragon Rider lance. Can't use the lance yet, need 85 attack, but that takes no time anyways, so went ahead and got these 3 things. The lance was 35 mil, if I recall, and the crests for the body and legs were like 13 mil, maybe 15 mil a piece. Bandos wasn't buying, so I figured, take it a step up, get some better Invention XP as well, from stepping that up 10 levels, in addition to the additional strength bonus, of course, and the base body, whatever it's called, Animacore Dormant, that's what it's called, was about 1 mil each, so not too bad as far as that goes. I knew this was going to happen. I got a Hunter daily, and I just did Hunter for the quest, so could have gotten that finished if I had logged a little bit sooner, I guess, or hopped or whatever else. Anyways, figured I'd explain this while I start on the use here. I have trained a few Herblore levels. The market, of course, is all over the place, so training Herblore can be a pain. Some potions are profit, and by quite a bit, but the demand and the volume for things, the trade volume in general, is so low that it's kind of a toss-up. I do have a few dozen mil worth of herbs that I invested into before the boss herb drop update, so luckily got in a little ahead on that with some spare money I had. But the goal is to get to 96 to then be able to boost to make holy aggro overloads. And I got 85 Slayer in the last episode and 106 Archaeology in order to get the Death Note relic and kill abyssal demons with it. That's how I plan on training melee, probably attack, strength, and defense, constitution, and invention, of course, killing abyssal demons in the wilderness, hopefully getting some decent brawling gloves as well, and with Death Note making, should be like a guaranteed 5 or 6 mil an hour, just in ashes, not counting pretty much anything else they drop, and they drop a decent amount of stuff, so yeah, hopefully I can make a decent amount of money while I'm training those skills up and gaining some ranks as well. Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. I already have the archaeology artifacts that I needed for the relic. They're all like restored and everything. I just boosted for that. Insane lag, by the way. So just working on finishing up Herblore at the moment. Oh, apparently that was world lag. Everybody else lagged too. Just a couple more levels here to finish off, and then I can make some overloads, turn those into holy overloads, and then turn those holy overloads into holy aggro overloads. I did finish the recipe by myself. I was contemplating like finishing it off to sell, but figured I'm close enough to the level now. I mean, even at 90, I was like, alright, I want to get overloads anyway, so it's a little bit, or not that much of a stretch to get the extra 2 levels instead of boosting from 94 to make overloads, just get 96, make the overload straight up, and boost for the holy aggro overloads. So should be some pretty nice XP as well. Anyways, this clip is way too long, as all of my clips, so I'm gonna get on with it. This took me pretty much the rest of the night, but here is 96 Herblore. Can officially make overloads and can boost for holy aggro overloads. Apparently you only need this level for aggro overloads. I think holy overloads are before now? No, they are 97. So I need to boost for both of those things, but in the 30 minutes I can boost with banner. Should be more than enough to handle that. The problem is, I was going to banner boost yesterday, but because I needed to do the quest, I couldn't to make the crystal flasks I needed, so actually this might just be enough. I mean, 26, 6 doses, each one is 36 minutes worth of stuff, and, you know, ingredients are going to get saved and double and whatnot, so I might use this crafting potion, buy another one or two, make a handful of flasks, and go from there, because should end up with more than enough to carry me at least the rest of the competitive period. Well, there are either 0 dwarf weeds on the market, or somebody is pricing them above 50k a piece. So I'm having to, rather, grow my own. I have fell stalks planted at the moment, but I had these dwarf weed seeds. I have like 100. They might have gone up significantly in price based on the price of dwarf weeds. So I might look at selling those if I'm not going to use them, but for the time being at least, I guess I can grow them and they can be ready in the morning for overloads or whenever I decide to make them. Guess while I've got the recorder open, can turn in this collection. Like I said, I already boosted for the artifacts and whatnot at the level 108 spot. The collection requires, it's only a 2-spot collection like a lot of the Dragonkin ones. It's 106 for one of them and 108 for the other one, so go ahead and offer this thing up. Offer relic, if I can remember how to do that. And that'll unlock us Death Note. Any day now. Alright, there we go. I should actually look at how much this costs. Yeah, 150 for the small is 150, so I can have 200 other stuff worth, but don't really have anything else I'd put here. I guess Death Ward probably fine, but nothing else is going to really benefit the experience per hour or GP per hour, I don't think. Got some post commentary here just to condense things down a little bit. In the background you see me making my first overloads as well as my first holy overloads and holy aggro overloads, which I have to banner boost for. Just wanted to condense this down a little bit because I had a few clips with no commentary that I intended to put commentary over later as I'm doing now, but definitely don't think I need to discuss everything, so I guess I'd prefer to mention right now that you might see my levels and such go up throughout the videos if you're paying attention to skill stats and all that, but if I don't include the clips, just because I don't think it's all that compelling content really, like, hey, I just got, 77 dungeoneering because I had a daily and I went and did a dungeon. Try to avoid putting in too much stuff like that, so that said, I'm sometimes pretty bad at it, so you might see a few things like that here and there, like after this clip, for example, but it also, I have a tendency to ramble, as you may know if you've seen any of my videos, including this one. So, every new clip is just a chance for me to run off the rails for 5 to 10 minutes. But anyways, yep, just made some potions here preparing for the Abyssal Demon grind and the melee combat grind in general. Interesting point, though. They did say at one point when they were doing the Wilderness opt-in PvP that everything in the Wilderness was going to be aggressive. Permanently. Like, you wouldn't need aggro potions or anything like that. So that was clearly a lie or something they decided to change when, I feel like if the Wilderness was sufficiently threatening, then that would be perfectly fine, for everything to be aggressive. Or maybe they really just meant like the new stuff, which will attack you as you walk by, the dragons and new demons and whatnot. But yeah, anyways, more prep work for the grind ahead of us. I had to get some live commentary in for this one, and had to turn off this to make sure I got it on time. And now I have to remember how to take siphons out of here. -1? Yes, okay. This should be 99 invention. Alright. Moving on up, it looks like the most realistic thing for me to get a top 100 in at the moment. Just given how much of a pain it is to train. I mean, you can kind of train it doing anything, which is my plan. Obviously, I've been doing a lot of combat. Archaeology, I think, is competitive with the combat side of things, at least the way I'm doing. There are definitely faster methods for getting item XP than AFKing Abyssal Demons, but at the moment, it takes like an hour and a half to get a full Amatic from level 1 to 12, which is pretty good invention XP, like over 400k an hour, I believe. But it's going to get better from here, of course. I'm only at the 108 spot. A lot of room to have some gains in that department, so very much looking forward to that and seeing where that takes us. Well, I've been excavating the 108 spot for long enough that I had 33 damaged artifacts, which is insane. That's like, I mean, 60k a piece. I did use Wisdom Aura, but still, that's like 1.8 mil XP, closing in on 2 mil. Pretty insane. So, yeah, I mean, you tend to get about, if you get halfway through the level by excavating, you should be able to restore your way for the rest of the level, but don't know if I'll stick at this spot or move on to the next one. I mean, some amount of excavating at these spots is going to be necessary for future artifacts, or relics, rather, if I want to go for those. So I might do that much at least, but for the most part, I'm just happy to have materials for things. And the Dragonkin spot's really good for that. Might go back to the 106 spot, fill out these collections just to make some crow notes. Otherwise, I'm just going to disassemble these for components, because you do need a lot of time 1 components eventually. Unfortunately, at this level range, I think through 110, level 110 artifacts give you 4 either time 1 or vintage components. Anything above that gives you 8. So I'm close enough now that I probably don't want to be disassembling these ones, since I'll just be able to get twice as much for the artifacts going forward. But you do need a lot of them for potential Equilibrium 3 Ruthless, or Equilibrium 4 Ruthless 3 attempts, rather. So right now I have Equilibrium 4 on my Lance, which is about a 5.3% DPS increase, and that can be comboed with, as in you can get it in the same gizmo, Ruthless 3, which, if you're killing things on a regular basis at least once every 20 seconds, that's an effective 7.5% DPS increase on top of that. Unfortunately, the best chance you have to get this is by using 8 time 1 components, which I have 51 of, which is more than I thought actually. 8 time 1 components in an ancient gizmo at level 120 invention with an extreme invention pot, and that gives you a roughly 1 in 20 chance. So until then, it's like a 1 in 300 if I try to do it right now, for example. So not at all worth until basically I'm at the point where I don't need to train invention anymore, which is unfortunate because the extra damage would help quite a bit. So I've earned myself a few more attempts at scavenging 4. Got 102 precious components. A little bit from scavenging, a little bit from the auto disassemblers. I've been chucking rubies in there, they're pretty cheap. Slower rate of getting precious components from those than I would hope, but got a few more here, so going to try to get scavenging 4 if I can find my potion. The odds are not good. I don't remember the exact rate, and I'm too lazy rather to look it up, so I'm just going to chuck them in here. I mean, knowing the odds doesn't change whether we get it or not, so just going to keep throwing it at it. If I don't end up with scavenging 4, I am going to dissolve my scavenging 3 looting 1 for a scavenging 3 alone. Yep, there we go. Unfortunate. So go ahead and dissolve this gizmo. Scavenging 3 looting. Just so the looting interface is less cluttered. I'm not really using a spring cleaner at this point because I determined the upkeep was not worth it. It was going to cost me more in time to make springs than it would to, or than it would save me to make money from alching things automatically. So I'm just not doing that. Also have this honed 5 on my matic still, so I'm going to dissolve that and put on a honed 6 that I originally had on a fishing rod-o-matic. I got pretty lucky there, and I do have 2 more tool gizmos to attempt to replace that one. Let's see here, furnace 2, nope. Honed 5, never lucky. Honed 6 alone is about a 1 in 12 at my current level, so not all that unexpected. I do want to make some more of these and try to get honed 6 for the rod-o-matic whenever I go back to fishing, but oh, that was weird. I did not think that would replace that in the bank, but oh well. I just need more head parts. I have pretty much everything except head parts ready for that. Alright, just finished Summer's End and Spirit of Summer before that, so that allows me to complete the hard wilderness achievements, which is something I've wanted to do for a while, but didn't really have a good enough reason to do so. And yeah, I guess I'll go over the benefits of that when I finish them. Alright, this should be the last one, I hope. Alright, there we go. Pretty nice. I was wondering if you could get that without being like PvP enabled or something. I figured you could, but I don't know, could have been weird or something. Alright, and if we claim the rewards here, let's see, task system. Rewards, yes, there we go. Many of you probably already know this, but the primary benefit of the hard set is you get to choose where the obelisks take you instead of it being somewhere completely random. And that also applies to the portable obelisk, which I do have, so that'll make it really easy to get to the abyssal demons, because the abyssal demons are here, and obviously the obelisk is here. So I've been teleporting to the lodestone and running over, but basically I just teleport out and run back whenever there's a ridiculous amount of stuff spawning on top of me because of the threat system, because it's too annoying to just, you know, surge over and wait for everything to despawn, because if I don't wait, they're just going to re-aggro on me. But this makes it easy. I can teleport out, come right back with the obelisk, almost no time lost, and that means it'll be easier for me to do contracts. I'll just carry the sword, teleport to Edgeville whenever I'm done with one, pick up another one, teleport right back, and that'll get me a little bit of thieving XP and some extra money as well. Oh, completely forgot to use lamps in that clip. Throwing these on runecrafting at this point because I think agility is faster than runecrafting right now, so 2 levels there, pretty nice. Closer we get to more pouches and such, the better it's going to be for runecrafting. I almost didn't notice because my private's off and so no broadcast, but I just got the strength pet. Shows up in the green color, not the massive blue broadcast over here, so yeah, glad I noticed that, because I would have been very confused when I looked at my bank later. I don't remember when you get the token. Do you get it when you claim the pet? Or at the same time as the pet? Either way, my bank is actually close to being full, so don't know what happens if you... I mean, you probably just don't get the pet or the token in that case, but while I'm here recording the clip, before I wasn't bringing the puzzle box with me because I was like, oh, the adrenaline stalling isn't going to be a big deal because I'm going to be in combat all the time, so just not going to bother with it. Forgot it also gives damage reduction and extra damage against things in the wilderness, so I've been missing out on like 6% damage this entire time. I think I'm like 7,000 kills in. Hey, there it is, Scavenging 4. Got anti-theism with it, which isn't relevant. I think I can just get by on Soul Split all the time, which it only affects the protection, praise, and curses. Soul Split is still good to go, so yeah, pretty sweet. Ooh, nice. And I had a couple of silent components from one of the rare procs on Scavenging 3. So sharp components here and silent components are good for getting honed, and furnace as well. These 3 silent components, instead of the other 3 sharp components, take it from a 1 in 12-ish, 1 in 14-ish, something like that, to a 1 in 7. So pretty good odds there. Luckily I got it on my first try, because obviously I don't have more silent components, but nice to pick up another honed 6. There's 99 Constitution, which is number... Hang on, what have we got so far? In order, I think we got Magic, Magic, Archaeology, Firemaking, Invention, now Constitution, and Strength is soon to follow. Just hit 98 like a couple minutes ago, might still be in the chat somewhere, but yep. That was 2 minutes ago. So, pretty close in level. About an hour away, under that, 3/4 of an hour, something like that. 99 strength incoming. There we go. Another one down. I think I'm going to switch over to training defense at this point, actually. The accuracy doesn't really matter, and I think I'm keen on just training defense here as melee. Actually, I need to check. 4 hours left. I need more divine charges. It's kind of a pain because they're really expensive, so I gotta make my own essentially, and the energy has been rising, but I digress. Switching over to defense XP. The accuracy from attack doesn't really matter at this point. Obviously you do strength first for the extra damage, but at this point the 0.5% damage reduction I would gain from the 5 defense levels is going to do more for me than any amount of attack levels, because accuracy just doesn't matter right now. Got another one coming in with 99 defense. Gonna switch over to attack now, and also, I suppose, give an update as to how many I've killed. See a whip in my inventory. I think this counts the double drops as 2 correctly. I'm up to, just a second here, 18 whips. Didn't want to bother moving that. And if I go to the Beast tab again, I can give an update. 15,237 Abyssal Demons killed. Based on my rate of Brawling Gloves, or how many I have right now, I should say, I seem to be getting one every like 2,000 to 3,000 kills, but it varies pretty wildly. I think I'm at 8 or 9 pairs at the moment, but 1 or 2 pairs came from wilderness events. So yeah, I'll show those off later in the video, but it's been a pretty good mix of things so far, I'd say. Not too dissatisfied. I'm just glad I'm not getting like melee and magic Brawling Gloves 24/7. Gonna switch this over to attack now while I still remember. I also did some snapshotting of my experience, item experience that is, and I seem to be getting around, what did I write down here? 720k Invention XP per hour, which is pretty good. It's definitely the best out of what I can do right now, which is no surprise. Combat tends to be the best because you can level up so many different things at a time, even if some of the rates are a bit reduced. But this type of training is definitely usually up there. Archaeology is pretty high up there as well, or it's my next best thing, but it's still not, you know, super great. I think I can get a fully leveled Matic 1 to 12 in about an hour and a half, which puts it at like 400 something K XP an hour, which for something I have to pay 0 attention to versus, you know, at least a little bit of attention to for this, it's not so bad. Well, I guess I'll just make this one pretty solid clip. Look at this rare drop table drop. 531 soft clay. I know what you're thinking. That's pretty bad. It's not, because you can sell soft clay for like 3k each. Also, there's 99 attack. Or whatever. No, I don't know if you can still sell it at 3k each, but you could at one point in time. And people were selling urns for like 8k, so it was, you know, for profit and also decent crafting XP, which is, I'm sure, why it was in such high demand. And obviously, like, nobody wants to be mining clay, but that means if you mined it in Ithel with a clay bracelet, it was like 10 mil an hour just to mine clay. You know, sit there, click a rock, which is pretty good. Also, there's 107 Invention. Couldn't ask for better timing, like I said, just make one big clip out of this, I guess. So yeah, that means we're technically as far as we need to go in terms of melee. The 107 Invention is pretty nice there to pick up. I should mention, it is now Monday, November 14th, which means the final week of the competitive period of Fresh Start Worlds has started. So we are getting boosted XP rates. We're up to 2.5x now. And yeah, they also made it today. Or they made a change today and included it in the news post. I guess it wasn't really a change, but they've altered the rules slightly, so to speak. Meaning that previously, getting top 100 overall in Fresh Start would earn you nothing. And now, you get a halo similarly to what you get, or not similarly, the exact same as what you get when you get top 100 in an individual skill. I believe you can get multiple halos as well. They're, tradable the one time. I think it's just one time anyways, like the other things, the inverted capes. So yeah, I am considering going for top 100 Invention, but also top 100 overall. I'll get into that more in a second, I think, but for now, let's go over the loot. So first off, as a frame of reference, I've killed 21,257 abyssal demons. Did not keep track of the time it took me at all, but I would guess somewhere around 1,000 an hour. No cannon, nothing like that. Just went in there, aggro pots. Here's my preset as it was. I did do contracts for a little bit. I got from 85 to 88 Slayer just doing contracts. They give, I think, 20% of the normal XP. Slayer XP, that is, that you would get from killing the monster. So, yeah, 40% after the fresh start bonuses, because I was on, 100% bonus last week. So it was like 111 Slayer XP per abyssal demon. So I got 3 levels doing that, which is quite a bit. I just got tired of doing them, and I figured, top 100 didn't mean anything at the time. Just stopped doing them. And it was only like 100k Slayer XP an hour. So I figured, don't do that anymore. Not worth the effort if it's going to annoy me even slightly to go pick up the contract and all that. But anyways, loot. Clue scrolls. I got a ton of hard clue scrolls, and I downgraded them into medium. Because if I'm going to do clue scrolls at all on this account, it'll be easies. But I wanted to, just put them as mediums anyways, for the sake of it, I guess so. Around about 200 clue scrolls from this grind, because I had some in there before. All of these numbers do include, the potential 20% double chance as well. Ton of Revenant drop enhancers, way more than I think anyone cares to use. Quite a number of whips. Can check the log for that, actually. Go down to Mauritania. 26 whips. And that must include the doubling chance, because the rate is 1 in 1,024. So I would have, 20 or 21 by this point, and I have 26. Bunch of ashes, so I guess, or I guess before that. Ancient Warriors equipment patches, got a ton of Fremenic ones as well, but didn't pick them up because they're only like 40k at this point is what they sell for. I was using Spring Cleaner for a bit, but I stopped because I determined the spring upkeep was not worth it to, make stuff and disassemble. It's just better to pick up what you could and leave everything else on the ground. I think I got 8 total Ancient Warriors equipment patches. And I think 2 of those were from the doubling effect. Got some nice rare drop table drops as well. Big bones, got a number of those. Those sell for a surprisingly high amount given how expensive bones in general are. About 4,000 rune arrowheads. Excuse me. Bunch of planks I got here as well. I think all of these, or most of these, probably about 500 teak planks are from rare drop table as well. So yeah, pretty nice stuff all around. Oh, and I didn't even go over the big thing competition-wise, which is the brawling gloves. I got 2 pairs from wilderness events, and the rest are from abyssal demons. And the one of the pairs I got from wilderness events I've already used. Those are ranging brawlers. Another pair of these, pretty useless. The rest of these are all pretty good though. Hunter brawlers less so, because I'm going to use those outside of the wilderness at Het's Oasis. But everything else, like fire making brawlers, that'll allow me to get like, what is it, 4.5, 5 mil XP in an hour. Smithing brawlers, I used all my protein stuff on bars for that, so that's, going to be a couple mil XP once I hit 90. Mining brawlers, already used part of one, getting like 450k mining XP an hour, using those. I only use them for rock opportunities, so I'm just AFKing until one shows up, and then I switch to the gloves, hit the rock, switch off. If it starts looking like I am not gonna want to be bothered to do that, I'm just gonna use them the normal way or whatever. Woodcutting brawlers, started using these. They come with like 660 charges. Started doing divine magics today with the new 150% bonus XP, so it's getting like 3,400 woodcutting XP per magic log from the divine tree. I went from the end of 91 to a little bit through 94 in 2 days worth of divine locations. Pretty hard capped at 250 per day. 250 charges used anyways. So I've got a little bit going there, and then I'll switch over to using fishing brawlers. Might try to knock out 85 fishing ahead of then to pick up or be able to use cavefish divine locations, because those are 300 XP, and the next best thing I have would be sharks at 76, and those are only 110. So very obviously a large difference there. And then got the cooking gauntlets as well, or brawling gloves as well. So that'd be like, I'm going to boost for Octails with an extreme cooking potion probably, and that'll be in the range of like 3.5 mil XP, I think. Maybe something like 2.5, can't quite remember, but it'll be a lot. So all that should help with pushing towards top 100 overall, which I guess this is a nice enough segue into that. But here is my current standing for Cell. 102 overall. I guess I haven't logged out yet, so might be up a rank or two, but 2492, 102 overall, and down here 106 Invention had me at rank 107. So yeah, just looking to push on those a bit more. Obviously right on the cusp of rank 100 for both of the things I'm considering, so hopefully I can knock that out in next episode. And now for the big one. This is the thumbnail moment, basically. I pretty much made a ridiculous amount of money, thanks to Death Note, for the most part. I should have held on selling my Pure Essence, by the way. I sold this like last night, I believe. Definitely should have waited until people started panic buying supplies for the last week, because it sold very easily at almost double the price. So I'm sure I can get even more for my next amount that I have to sell here. Same with Ashes, probably could have waited. Can see over here selling for almost 7k a piece versus 5k down here, so that is unfortunate, but at the same time, let's go ahead and collect everything here and see how big the number is. Plus 137 mil. Not bad at all. And I still have some stuff to sell. Not really going to bother though on video right now, but yeah, I actually have no idea what I plan to do with this money. Other than like put it towards maxing, I guess. It would be nice to be able to max before Fresh Start Worlds end, so that's probably just what I'm going to end up going for, but not until after the competitive period ends. But if I need to dump supplies or dump some money on supplies, like buying stuff for cooking for brawlers or whatnot, probably going to spend this pretty liberally. And if I am going to go for top 100 Invention or just more Invention XP in general, I'll make even more money because I'll be doing it at Abyssal Demons still. So yeah, anyways, sorry for the extremely long clip here at the end, but just wanted to get all that included for posterity's sake, I suppose. So, if you enjoyed the video and are hyped to see the last week here, feel free to give it a like, comment, or subscribe. Much appreciated. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.